actually free the rest of all those nations trapped in Nigeria may start. I'm not banking on it. What do I have to lose? Do I have anything to lose? If the obedient pull the stunt, do you have anything to lose more than what we have lost? If the old order retain their old control? But at the end of the day, it seems that we are all going to learn a lesson. And there's something I wanted to add earlier. No matter where you and I belong to, don't believe that anybody's undecided about Nigeria today. Oh. Listen to me. There is nobody that is undecided about what's going on in Nigeria today. If anyone says they are undecided, they are lying to you. They have decided. Everybody is just waiting for the outcome of the whole thing. I am only playing my part to prepare you for the aftermath. Now, let's go back to London again. I have Eva, thank you very much for this. And I'm going to also say a big thank you as well to this, my person, Tonia. I appreciate this, and I hope that my position is not to discourage any of the young people pushing this. I know the genesis of the obedient movement. I know the genesis. I know the reach. I know everything behind it. How they finally managed to turn it into a political whatever today, and the beneficiary of all of that is obedient. Obi himself. We know the story. But as they say, if dog have to eat dog, for us to be free in a way, what is wrong in that? Let's go back to London, where Obi was answering questions. We're almost done. Oh, remember, we are highlighting what he had to say and what he said when he's in London, just like Kolu was also in London. I will replay part of that too. Let's go back to London.
Come to the edge, maintain River Nile. Nigeria is big enough to deal with this, and we'll deal with it. And I assure you, you see the difference, it will be clear. Other protocols of climate change will follow it. Where we find difficult, we'll negotiate and talk with other involved in that. We are signatory to it, and it's devastating the world today. So we must follow the protocol.
Thank you. The clock is ticking. We're on borrowed time now, but we are going over, as I said. So there's right at the front here, there's a gentleman there. I'm going to take 3 questions, and then I think the clock is going to have had its say. Short and sharp, please.
I'll
go ahead.
Keep it short. Hi, good afternoon. My name's Alexis Akwajiram. I'm the managing editor of Semaphore Africa. My question is, if you become the next president, would you seek to keep the current central bank governor or replace him? And please explain your answer.
So, the gentleman in the middle there. Yeah. Please. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, and thank you for your remarks. My name is Chibuikem Ugongadi. I'm a master's student at King's College London, and it's funny, actually, my question is related to him. Given the debacle at the central bank currently and their conduct over the past 8 years, what is your view on central bank independence as a tool to improve economic growth? And how will you what will you do about the leadership at the central bank when you become president in order to make sure that their principles are in line with yours on monetary policy?
Thank you very much. The lady over there. Yes, madam, you. Yes, but sharp, please. There's a microphone just here. It's next to you, just there, please. Aha.
Okay, Your Excellency, good afternoon. So my question here is this: you talked about restructuring. As you're aware, Nigeria can barely service its external debt. Nigeria can barely service its external debt. Our current external debt, we cannot service it, or we're finding it difficult to service it. Now, when you become president, how do you intend to restructure our external debt without actually downgrading our rating in the market? Thank you.
Thank you. And your name, just so
My
we have
name
it?
is Ifeyinwa Umunakwe.
Okay, thank you. And then if we move the microphone to the lady just there, last question. Yes.
Good afternoon. Nice to see you again, Mr. Obi. My name is Kenneth Chukwuabo. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Cambridge. I study public-private partnerships in education. I read your manifesto, and it seems PPPs are taking a central stage in education sector. So I wanted to ask, what is your rationale for involving private actors in public education, and what governance structures would you put in place to ensure the accountability of these actors in a sensitive sector such as education? Thank you.
Thank you very much. My apologies. We've run out of time now. I'm watching the clock.
Okay. Alex, I hope you will allow me. There's somebody here that is so keen. When I was coming in, he had a question that is so interested and is like, so I told him, if I have opportunity, I will request and answer it publicly. Okay. Let me again go. People are talking about the central bank governor. The problem, first, let me assure you, central bank will maintain its independence. It will be respected. And again, it is not the problem of the person there. Central bank have a role of monetary policy, if I'm right. Then you have this physical space. It's like a street football. When the person who is supposed to be in the physical space is no longer, it's like you go to a football match and somebody who is supposed to play in a particular wing is no longer there. You find people playing various wings. The weakness of the physical space allows the monetary space to take over, and in supporting, because there's a weak governance structure, that is why we're able to do what we're doing. With what is happening today is happening. So if you're replacing Godwin and putting somebody with that level of physical rascality, which is what is fueling our inflation and even our rate of exchange today, these are some of the things you need to cut. As long as the government continues on that fiscal rascality, that situation will occur. That's what you need to fix. I won't say what will happen. Instead, it's actually coming to an end. So it won't be too long. So that's that. I assure you that we'll deal with that. You asked about PPP in education. I said you're in Cambridge. Is Cambridge run by British government? Now, I just want to know, because I don't know. When we're talking about PPP in education, we're talking about tertiary education. We're not talking about basic education. We will ensure that basic education is free, and we will drive it aggressive, because we have 20 million out of school children in the north, which I've said we will deal with decisively, because those children mostly have learned Quran, which means they're intelligent. We'll meet them at the point of learning Quran and teach them skill. For the tertiary education, we must find a way to fund it in a collaborative way, public partnership, in order to be able to ensure that 4 years will be 4 years, not what is happening today. That's what we mean by that. And it will be, you'll see, it's a win-win situation. That's it. No, not the basic. It won't be the basic. Then, issue of barely servicing our debts. We're not, I've said it before, we're not the only country that have gone through this. Once we move from consumption to production, what we're going to do first is that what you see today, we're inability to service our debts, is because of fiscal rascality. You're paying unsustainable subsidy, which will be stopped from day one. because it's criminal thing. You're no longer generating money because they're stealing with oil. And the only people who can steal oil are people in government. Because ordinary people cannot steal oil.
That's
you can
right.
put it in your pocket.
True.
It's something that you come with sheep. So all those, and you stop corruption, the waste, everything. And you go to seek to ensure that the revenues of government are properly collected. These are things, when you have tightened all the leakages and wastes, you'll be able to increase your position and you negotiate and be able to service them. Look at it, just to give you an example. Nigeria is today the only OPEC nation, apart from Venezuela, because of sanction, that is not meeting up its quota. Because over the years of oil theft, the multinationals and everything have not been investing, coupled with the theft and everything. You're not realizing what you're supposed to. Every other nation that is in the same condition was able to bring down their rates and inflation within this period of Ukraine war. I'm not saying it's good to wait for war to be able to get more revenue, but people are taking advantage of it.
Love it at least.
Because it's there.
I know.
And you can't run away from it. But we couldn't take that advantage. Our situation got worse because of poor management,
being diplomatic,
of our own physical space, which will change without an eye. And finally, like I said, somebody kept telling me that issue that people have been saying that if I become president,
just hang on, Obi. There's something I want to say to close his presentation and all of that happened, okay? But it is so funny. Let's be honest, too. This is not like your bigoted mind talking, okay? Listen, let's be honest. I have been reading the Lagos Sabobakus. I've been reading their comments. Oshogbo Alimajiris, the Buhari Dins, the Buhari Didiris, the Buhari Dinotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unekaharis, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, the humbled slaves, including some of their uncles and aunties abroad, the Abroadian Cyberbarians, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers. They are also watching and they are calling Obi dumb. Baba Shayen Shieni. Let's serious now. Let's remove all of this whole thing. See, even if you know that he's not going anywhere, he's never going to defeat Kolu and Baba, you know, day your mouth now to say somebody no sharp. You are supporting Kolu, you are supporting Tinubu. Come on, man. After all you watched, Abi, whether he go defeat her, he no go defeat her, whether he go beat her, he no go beat her. Leave that story. Baba, she won't shake with any. How can you say Kolu is better than that person? Show ya were ni. Question him on I'm not saying you to ya were, even though to ya were. Just get serious now. Come on. Kolu is a Yoruba man. If you want to support Kolu, support him. If you want to support Atiku, do that with your chest. But I know they come here, they tell us, say somebody dull. You they talk, say that guy dull. You they support Kolu, you they talk, say somebody dull. Sean Shieni. Oh, they get serious now. Pelu life, Get serious now, my guy. She can log play Kolu for again. You want to listen to him? Somebody where they speak the language of the gods. Somebody that you have to get an interpreter to interpret what he is saying. You can't hold your phone, they talk to somebody dull. Which level now? Let me go back to Kolu. Just for the sake of our listeners. Imagine somebody with a support if nobody talks to somebody dull. Possible now. Just get serious this time around. You won't bring Bokwari or anybody. Papa, even if the guy, they sweet talk you. Now, person we get sense, they sweet talk people now. Call you no get any sense. It don't leave. You can't one come here, come they try tell us say, Baba, show mad ni. Get serious, George, Padi me, get serious, eh? Get serious, pẹ̀lú life, eh? Get serious, alaye. This same call luta wa mo.
Related to Nigeria from worldwide every year. And I do appreciate that the leaders, they do come every electoral cycle to speak to us in diaspora, but we can't vote. Is there any plans you have, sir, with regards to diaspora voting?
Thank you so much. Good question. So the lady just here, you, madam, yes. Please go ahead. Yes, this lady. Yeah.
Hello. Louise Doas from AFP News Agency. I cover Nigeria. I'm based in Abuja. I have two quick questions.
No, one, please.
One? Okay. Okay, well, my question is, what exact steps will you take in your first year in administration to reduce unemployment rate, and in which sectors will you create jobs?
Okay, so that's the second question on reducing employment. And the gentleman just there, we will be coming back another round. Yes, you, sir. Go ahead.
Excellency, John Cookson, Arise News. You spent a long time today talking about the problems that Nigeria has, but you've been an integral part of the government for the last 2 terms. Why should people vote for you? Why are you a fit and proper person to be president?
Thank you very much. So the question was, you've served 2 terms in this government. So why should you be now elected as president? You've done your time in government. And then we have the question on remittances stroke, how can the diaspora vote? And then the question from Agence France Presse on how you're going to get employment up, how you're going to get economic growth. Those are the 3 questions.
Well, the same method. We call on Wale Edun to answer the
first question, is it?
Yes, first question.
Why diaspora can't vote? Can we have a microphone, please, coming here?
That's really, with the greatest respect to the person who asked that question, that's a question for the gentleman who's coming to you in January, the chairman of INEC. I don't think it's for him to answer.
Okay, well, that's the answer then. Good.
But definitely he doesn't have an objection.
No, but
let's just have, it's a constitutional matter. But please, let's let Mr. Tinubu, he's the main
speaker. I think it was El-Rufai last night that mentioned that diaspora voters are entitled to voting. If you make contribution to the economy with remittances that you have been making, your right to vote should not be abrogated, but promoted. However, we are still building confidence in our democratic and voting system. INEC is still yet to assure us during this election that electronic transmission, the technology being used for accreditation, and the total vote count is reliable, dependable, and assuring in our democratic process before we introduce a complicated element of mail-in ballots and so on.
So, please. So my message is this conversation will be continued on 17th of January. We have Professor Yakubu here from INEC. Please come back and have
and ask your question. Kalu no get answer.
Second question, the one on.
So who's going to answer the second question for him?
Unemployment.
Somebody else.
Please.
Show why
the microphone is just there for you.
Show why mini. This one happened just about 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago. You come on my Egun's diary political. They talk about somebody we no smart, we no get intelligent. Show why.
Economic growth. He talked about getting at least 7% growth, because that in 10 years will help to double GDP growth, And the key to his policy for increasing economic growth, achieving rapid growth, is to enable the private sector to make the investments that will increase productivity, grow the economy, create the jobs, and reduce poverty. That's the trajectory. And in particular, he's going to implement both, as he mentioned, the monetary and fiscal policies that will free up the space for private investment, particularly in infrastructure, and also through the promotion of agro-allied industrial processing zones. It is in agriculture in particular where the jobs will be created that will enable not just growth, but inclusive growth that provides enough employment opportunities that will lead to reduction of poverty. So the Tinubu administration is essentially all about private sector-driven economic growth. And foreign direct investment will also be a key element of that process. That's the objective of the administration, and that's what they intend to achieve through the economic policy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And there was the third question from Arise News on that you've served 2 terms, Mr. Tinubu, already. In
listen,
why should you be president?
Grandpa
is the question that was asked.
I guess my name is Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
They will answer
And
this
the
yourself.
current president is Muhammadu Buhari.
Remember when I told you that every time Kolu need to speak for himself and say, I am different, I know that APC, Egbekegbe, have destroyed Nigeria. Boko Haram has destroyed Nigeria. But I am Tinubu. I am different. His name is Muhammadu Buhari. He is finding it so hard to separate himself from the failure of Boko Haram, because they call the beat just like a dwarf. A dwarf, a chimpanzee. When they say, you go see, we go show you when Kolu win. I ain't share this one. No, listen to him again. No, it is time he wants to defend himself and separate himself from APC, Egbekegbe, led by Boko Haram. I mean, come on, listen.
And there's nowhere in the Constitution that says, a current administration cannot be a continuity in their own ways. It doesn't remove me from adaptation to my own economic philosophy and developmental program. I did it in Lagos. I converted the greatest liability, threatening the environment.
Oh dear, I don't want to miss this. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Did you hear the accent? I convicted, but he actually said nonsense. Do you want to listen to it word for word? He was talking nonsense. But he used the accent, and the Agberus miseducated illiterates and educated illiterates in Nigeria and all over the world. They were like, oh my God, the man that fought the sea and he won. His name is Kolu.
I converted the greatest liability, threatening the environment and Lagos existence, to asset of magnitude value.
Now nonsense the way they talk there. Magnitude, just something like when he said town hall is different from Bala Blue, Bulaba. Demented old man that some jobless criminals are intending to use in their own way of accessing your own public resources. This Kolu. But listen to him, he's still talking.
Whether you are from Lagos or not, I've encouraged private investment in Lagos more than any other part of the country. In fact, beating the federal government and, before we took over the reign of the regime. Vision, courage, and can-do attitude of an individual is self-given. And I believe I've earned that throughout the country.
So this may well be the last round of questions because the clock may.
Just like I said, talking about those who said that Peter Obi, I mean, you can say that. Everyone, all of you can say Peter Obi is this or that, but I don't want anybody from Agbado or Mekano. You go listen to Bulaba Bala Blue. And then you come around talking about intelligence and answer. Let this guy ramp up so that myself go wrap up. From his final presentation in London today, this is the final part, I believe.
Now there's issue of being, how do I say, what word do they use? Stingy. Pat knew the question of stingy. How are you going to manage? Because they said you'll be stingy and everything. And let me say it publicly that people don't know what it is all about. At the heart of poverty is capital formation. And you can't go about capital formation without savings. Even in the most developed world, which is why I said that Japan holds highest amount of US treasury. If you listen or you go and read about what Professor Ragnar Nask done in the 50s, he showed it clearly. Capital formation is the heart of poverty. Without capital formation, you have low productivity, low income, and you produce poverty all over the place. What I was doing as governor, I was the best governor in Millennium Development Goals by the UNDP. You can go and check that. Is that? I won a prize for the best road network. I won the Gay Prize back-to-back on health. You can go and see what I did in health. Build scratch, teaching hospitals and everything. Improved #1 in education. And above all, I was able to save because I believe in future generation. If you look at that savings, I said future generation funding because we want to have proper capital formation to drive tomorrow. If I have opportunity in Nigeria, no matter what we do, we'll do the same thing. We must save for tomorrow because that's how you form capital to turn around tomorrow. So as the end, I appeal to all of you. There's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time have come. Victor Hugo. The time today is to have competent leadership with character, commitment and compassion. And that's what Nigeria is yearning for. That's what Dati and I are offering you. Let's have opportunity to build a better Nigeria. Thank you.
So that was him in London. And the highlight of this conversation is all is said there. And that's what I shared with you tonight. I am not responsible for any choice you make, okay? And in my own word, boycotting an election is also part of election, okay? He has managed to drive mass registration of voters all over Nigeria. You can't deny that. What happened in the election afterward, even if we don't have any influence in that, whatever happens after their election, if they owed their election, by the way, we are all going to share part of it. I hope you know. So my presentation tonight is just to give you the insight into what happened in London, and at the same time to show to you that Nigeria is at that crossroad. Whatever happens in their charade election, if they have it, the consequences or the aftermath of that, I would advise that you should get yourselves prepared based on the information you have or you know, leading to the whole charade, unexpected explosion. I have said my own part. Now here is my own verdict on the whole thing. I am Mayegun, the general overseer of the Temple of Truth. I have presented my own unbiased. Okay, maybe it's biased. Okay, don't let us lie. Okay, if we are dealing in truth, let us be truthful, 100%. I have a bias, which I have any regret about. I have a bias against anything that has to do with the establishment in Nigeria, starting with APC, PDP, and the entire structure of the establishment of Nigeria that are put together, functioning only to suppress you, oppress you, and keep you in check. If you fail to obey the directive and all of that the system want to shape you into, you are likely going to get killed. So in my lifetime, right, I actually want to see this whole hegemony collapse, even though I don't think I have so much influence to make that happen. I have a bias towards them, and I have no regret about that. If you come on to Mayegun's Diary Politico, after 8 years of APC, and the record of their murderous time in charge of Nigeria, if you come here, they ask me for fear, equal just I mean, you show to if you are supporting anything that has to do with APC, and you come on my platform or Mayegun's Diary Politico asking for equality, Mayegun, I just want you to be equal to anybody. I mean, you show we have seen the damages, we have seen the division, we have seen the corruption, we have seen the poverty, we have seen the terrorism. Olori Brukwe can jump on any social media and start talking about equality with APC. Oh, Nigeria. I mean, I have biases towards PDP and APC. These are the people who had the chance of building a viral country, united country, by actually doing the right thing. They didn't. What they didn't do has now catch up with everybody. Look at the whole place. There will be no peace for Nigeria. Trust me. Whether Nakolu or Obi, there will never be any peace for Nigeria. There is a way. There is a way that those who are going to be saddled with your country are going to undo what they have brought upon you. That will determine how long is it going to take before the entire implosion of Nigeria. You have no say to it other than just to help them self-destruct. They have already pressed the self-destruct button. And that is why on my platform, now me, I'm not talking about everybody. There are many members of this Temple of Truth that they don't like the obedience. They don't like Obi at all. And I don't speak for them. And they don't speak for me too. But me, Mayegun General, the obedient are the very good sort of a platform that can help keep tormenting the people that believe that they have conquered all of us. Okay? If you say anything, they will kill you. If you say something, they will jail you, exile you, even kidnap you from everywhere. The system that ensures of that is not a system that is going to actually last. It is expanding. It is stretching. It will implode. And you're going to help them. So obedience, tonight is your night. You've been laughing, you've been smiling. My ego sounded so good to you. Some of you even call me a coward who should always speak for fighting for Nigeria. I have told you that I like what you are doing. Does not make me one of you. Because, listen to me, in your world, you are fighting for your survival. As Nigerians, Abi, you are fighting for your future. This thing that the establishments have done to you, you can no longer take it. You must secure your future. And Obi is the pipeline. I mean, it's actually the way to get that done. No problem. Okay? In 2015, there were some set of Nigerians who believed then that Kolu, Bokwari, Pastor Ruga, and including this Isale Eko Barack Obama. I'm talking about, what do you call it? What did they call that place? Oluwole Albert Einstein, Fashola, the Minister of Darkness, potholes, and homelessness in Nigeria, right? At the time, they were among those who were inspiring you, telling you that a repentant terrorist, Bokwari, the man that first in history of Nigeria truncated the democratically elected government in Nigeria, because according to him, he is coming to fight corruption, destroyed and ruined Nigeria, only to be rewarded of the presidency of Nigeria 30 years later because of some greedy, selfish criminals who saw him as their own, as their own only way into ascending or accessing power in Nigeria. And guess who have been paying the price of that? All of you. Nigeria has become the poverty capital of the world. In 7 years, Nigeria has become the second most terrorized people in the whole world after Syria. In 7 years. And today, they are now asking you to choose between your life and your land. Do you understand that? So to me, whatever you are witnessing today as a solution to fixing Nigeria, I am not involved. But I understand how you arrive at that. So when we choose and say, okay, what do you think is going to be the way out? When Nigeria becomes, or let me say, maybe through you, the obedient, if Nigeria should become a democratic place where asking for self-determination is no longer a crime. And it's never a crime, by the way, except for the jihadists who want to keep Nigeria together, good for nothing. Not for you, not for anybody, just for themselves. Right? Maybe through you, we can begin to have a proper conversation around referendum is not war. As you are wishing to save Nigeria, the rest of us are wishing to save our own generations coming. And we don't see Nigeria giving us that. Do you understand? So it is not a crime to ask for self-determination. But yeah, you can continue to pretend. But don't ever come to my platform and believe that I am going to be just to PDP and APC. Seriously, see, I lie. I use everything where I get to assure you that the day that I'm going to see them disappear or buried, including Nigeria, it's actually going to be one of the days I'm looking forward to. You may lie to yourself and the rest of that. And I feel personally like the obedient in their part, let their revolution continue. Destroy the entire system. Collapse it. And let's see what is built from the rumble of that. But if they fail, I am also trying to ask them, if they fail by being defeated by the system, not by being rigged or muzzled out by the system, what are they going to do if they are muzzled out? Sure, you get now everybody could get a cut from this. And that's my own battle. And I hope the rest of you who actually have a say in what is going to happen, play your role. I'll keep the record in the diary. But before I go, there is something very shocking. Even though our time has so far spent, but it is still ideal for you to know. How many of you know that Akeredolu is sick? How many of you? Yes, Ondo State Governor is sick. Majority of them are sick. And with the public office and public money, they can get themselves and buy themselves the best health care money can buy in any part of the world. Ondo State government is very sick. But surprisingly, we are getting to know that from the anger and rage of Akeredolu's wife. You know they call Akeredolu Arakunrin. His wife is called Arabinrin. I just didn't know that Akeredolu's side chick could make Akeredolu's Arabinrin the wife to make a public audio. Mama Arabinrin kilode conjugal wahala. And that's how I got to know that Akeredolu is sick. They use their pastor, the woli, the babalawo, the mamalawo, the auntilawo, unculawo, brotherlawo, and the rest of them, to try and heal the governor of Ondo State. But the wife is having none of that. Because according to her, somebody want to take my wife, somebody want to take my husband, though. I didn't say that. Akeredolu's wife said it. Maybe you should listen.
Good morning, everyone. This is Arabinrin. I have a message for Ademusa, and I believe that she is on this Aketi Women's platform. I don't have her number, and I don't think she's worthy of me having her number. I want this woman to stay away from my husband. Stop sneaking in concussion. According to her, they are from her pastors, her fake pastors, to give my husband to drink. We rely on medical care. We rely on Western style of medical care, and Aketi will get well. But what has triggered this very message is her recent nocturnal meetings to become the deputy governor of Ondo State. Look at you. What have you got upstairs to be the deputy governor of Ondo State? Yeah, peradventure, if anything happens to Aketi, Lucky takes over. It is a constitutional thing. But for you to be scheming, I warned Aketi from the word go that this woman is evil. This woman is no good. And it is happening. She has nothing good for you. I warned you. This woman is bloody evil. But I'm warning her for the very last time to stay away from my husband. And look, if you're dealing with an Igbo woman in this kind of situation, I will deal with you mercilessly. You will never forget in your life. For the very last time, Ademosu, whatever you call yourself, stay away from Aketi. Stay away from sneaking in those concussions. Stay away this woman.
Stay away from my husband. Please, stop bringing concussion for my husband. You, this woman, I will show you that you don't take an Igbo woman's husband. Oh, I'm so sorry, First Lady. I understand. I'm not mocking you. Now, this one come public. We won't come trick Akeredolu to sack his own deputy and make her the deputy. So that when Akeredolu paying, she can be governor. And First Lady is not having of that. You won't kill my husband. You dey chop my husband for my back. The governor. Now the person is sick. We are using Western medical, whatever. Stop bringing concussion to my husband. Instead of madam to say, Aketi, don't disgrace me. You are a governor. I am the First Lady. I have this report of this lady that has been coming to your office, bringing concussion. You are drinking the whole thing. Or maybe Madam Betty told her husband. And Akeredolu was like, Ogbeni, forget you. Before I die now, something go kill man. No, something must kill a man. That's what we say in Nigeria or everywhere. They say something must kill a man. Say, Baba, no kill yourself. Oh. Baba, no kill yourself because of Yansho. Baba, you won't die because of a boob. Which one you can't lose your sense because of this? You know what that we say them in the African. Papa, you won't die because of woman. You won't die because of man. Eh? Papa, no die you. But unfortunately, it will like say we the same people will tell you, Baba, no, they scare me. I beg you. One thing must kill a man. Something must kill a man. Last they will say he died. Here lies a man that died because of, here lies a man that, you know what I mean? It's not new. And I think that's what Aketi told his wife, the first lady of Ondo. Mama, can't they throw the whole thing for all of us to chop and say, oh yeah, people help me, oh. This woman won't take my husband, oh. Madam, what do you think say we feed do? Like sincerely, oh, this is also part of that convo. Mama said he no get the number of the woman that has been bringing concussion to her husband. What do you want me would do? Or
this kind of situation, I will deal with you mercilessly. You will never forget in your life. For the very last time at Demosu, whatever you call yourself, stay away from Aketi. Stay away from sneaking in those concussions. Stay away this woman. You won't find it funny with me, oh. You will never find it funny with me. You are very, very a terrible human being. Go away and go and enjoy your loot.
Leave my husband. Aketi no dey come house again. And we are supposed to be giving him medical care from Western world. You can't dey bring him agbo. You see, I feel you. No be smart, you know. If side chick don't they give your husband concussion to get well, but if you know be side chick, if you actually be the wife that is unofficial, and if you like say that man, if he talk which one be official or not, even if there is anything official put together on a document. I mean, I'm a man, so I know what I'm talking about, and I never really want any woman to be treated like this. But they are all politicians. It comes with the whole package. I'm more interested in the health of Aketi. What is wrong with Aketi? What is wrong with Aketi? They said he has something to do with prostrate. Don't take my word for it, too. Now, rumor. But his wife just confirmed that something is wrong with him. And the thing that is wrong with him, may kill him. So, Akeredolu's wife is concerned that this woman is not just bringing concussion to her husband. This woman is convincing her husband to sack his deputy so that Aketi can nominate her as deputy governor. So if the person where they bring concussion for Aketi can't bring poison, Aketi die. Madam Becky will no longer be first lady. She would have to go and be a widow, mourning her husband. And guess what? That woman, side chick, will be governor of Ondo State. More, that will be the best side chick story ever. And it's not new. Nigeria is what Nigeria is. So don't see, calm down. Don't think it's impossible. It's very 100% possible. So this woman, we no call her husband. We no call the woman. The woman, the wife of the governor who has access to DSS, police, and the rest of them. She couldn't use any of them because Aketi don't give her the protection. Madam First Lady, you have to alert all of us. Although na marital wahala, but it includes the life of the millions of people of Ondo State. Now your life that they take play kite. So, one feel life around Dodobo. It might be no. I believe the children are sleeping right now, but that's exactly why we say it. If everybody want to be so, they say, I can't even future around Dodobo. Sure you get. It simply means side chick is making the best of the best deal, and Ondo people, they actually have no idea. And the first lady just told us, again, Emma Bino. Sure you get, I'm just saying what I think and all that. Let's go back to London, where another side attraction actually happened. Would you believe? Some people are actually like looking for Renault Mercury in London. I'm done. See, If you want to laugh, laugh. If you want to log out right now, okay? And make sure your children are not up. I should have warned you. I didn't. I'm sorry. I take that back. They said they won't beat Renault for London. When Renault said he was going to London House, Chatham House to go and look for Obi. And so disobedience, God said that they look for him. If we see Renault, did you see Renault? Did you see Renault? I beg, who saw Renault here? Did you see Renault? We are here with 2 by 2. If we see him, And I was actually waiting for the video where they will show me where they beat him. You know me, I'm just a diary. You don't need to like me or hate me. I am just a diary. Open me up. You go see everything where happened, when they happened, including video evidence. These guys were looking for Renault in London today.
About those Nigerians who Narino, I wait for.
Only I'm waiting for.
Narino, they wait for like this.
I carry. I want to wear jeans. I want to wear jeans unless I won't go gym. But I wear jeans, come here from Hertfordshire just because I won't meet them.
Because I won't beat them. I tell you, it happened. I actually posted on my Facebook. Some people thought I was like, I don't incite people. I report what happened. And when I report them, I may have my own jara here and there. I'm actually going to be reporting 100% of what happened. Like nobody else is reporting it. Yeah, and they were looking for him. Here is another one. They were asking people, did you see Renault? Did you see Renault here? Won't beat him. Ekweremadu treatment. Won't give him. And me, I was about to see if we'll go see video. The same Renault where they shout when Kolu was in London. Remember? I said they were looking for him today. Sadly, he didn't show up.
No worries. Come on. It's okay. Come, did any of you see Renault? No, I don't see Renault. We didn't see Renault. Did you see Renault? Top to bottom. We don't see Renault. Top to bottom. Sorry, I've been looking for Renault. Did you see him? Oh, no. Oh, no. Did you see Renault? Oh, no, he can't come here. Jesus Christ. Top to bottom.
Anyway, thank you very much for spending your evening with me. This is the end of this conversation. I wish I could take calls, but I won't. My time is so fast spent. I enjoyed every bit of it, but don't just laugh. Remember the educational part of it. The reason for this whole highlight is for you to understand the characters that are promising you things that they are likely not going to be able to deliver. Some believe they would. But in my own world, I've actually heard worse. I've heard so many lies. I mean, come on. Is there anything new that you haven't heard? Is this your first time of focusing or concentrating on Nigerian politics? Some of us actually gained our notoriety of understanding that we can never be manipulated. No nice word can get us set to believe the lies from any of these characters. But when it gets to a stage, when a system presses its own self-destruct button, what do? You join the spectators. Become a spectator, not just a spectator, a very, very educational one. The one that follows things and keeps record. You know why? If you said nobody can lie to you, it's because you have been lied to many times and you've kept the record of those lies. And you can actually ask politicians according to the lies they told when they are trying to convince you. On Mayegun's diary, political diary. Mayegun's diary, political rather. We keep all this intact. Then I leave you to be the judge of all that has been exposed to you. Whatever you decide on all of this, Baba, I don't have a saying that. You are only responsible for what you think should be the right thing to do. But if you ask me, Mayegun, where do you belong? I belong to that category of those who believe in free speech, freedom of association, and at the same time, who believe in the legitimacy of the advocacy for the sovereign nation of Yoruba land. It is legit. It is lawful. It is just that it is becoming unlawful in a lawless country like Nigeria. So if you ask me for my side will be the same thing 1 million times. To save Nigeria, please break it up. When I say break it up, it may be so straightforward and blunt. It is all about equity and justice, and then something like, that you share in common. And that was exactly what we signed up for when we got this independence, by the way. Everything else we have been told have all been lies, unsustainable lies. So if my program helps you to understand how complicated, or maybe not so complicated, the fraud Nigeria is, well, thank you. You're welcome. Rather, I'm going to see you some other time. I wish I could take calls, but I don't have such time anymore. I am going to see you some other time, and I'm going to probably bring you something new to whatever they are doing. Some people are falling for them. A lot of us won't, no matter how sweet, how nice they present them. We never fall for this. But nevertheless, nobody should feign ignorance of what is going on in Nigeria. With the amount of information available to you today, you have no excuse to say you are making decisions about Nigeria out of ignorance. That would be your own choosing. Don't pretend. It's what I have figured out. Even those of us that are telling them here that the election is charade and rigged, even before the first ballot is casted. A lot of us know that some of you who pretend to agree with us here, you have been busy collecting your voters' card here and there. See, I am not somebody who is here to judge you. I am just here to tell you, whatever you choose to do, whatever role you choose to play in all of this old nonsense going on, Baba, just make sure that you are bold enough to own up to them. Because for every decision you make or every action you take or any of this you participate in, there will be consequences and you can't shift the blame. Please, read or watch again if you just joined us. It's been a wonderful night or evening. I'm going to see you some other time. Stay safe and remember, until this hegemony collapse, seriously, it is simply kicking the can down the road. No matter what they do now. I'll see you some other time. Please enjoy your evening and good night from here.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun Diary Politico. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà gbówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òwúrọ̀ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.